This the War Report, coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark. Little Dirty Dom Mysterio to kick us off. Mini Mac, Al, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to Disney tomorrow. Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
I came in a little late, so fuck Goldberg.
Oh, there we go. Al, did you notice that at one point in the lyrics of that song it says Latino Peligro?
Yes. My favorite part of the song.
It's hilarious. It's such a funny rhyme because it technically rhymes, but it's like not. I don't know.
It's even said wrong. It should be Peligro de Latino or something like that.
That's kind of what I was thinking. All right, I'm not a native speaker, but damn. Go ahead, Steve. Do the intro.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark. I mean, listen, we definitely have a lot to dissect. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. First and foremost, devastating news. Jacob Fatu. Do we actually know anything yet as to like exactly what's going on, timeline?
I've
I
heard...
honestly, I had heard rumors that he was going to be out for a while, like something non-related to wrestling, but injury or something.
I heard dental work.
Yeah, he's getting like all of his teeth replaced.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
that
getting
makes
dental
sense
work.
As to why they did the his
dental
teeth
thing.
were on the
Yep.
concrete. Okay, that
Which,
makes
by
sense.
the way, it looked very real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know it's part of a storyline, but like with the teeth on the ground, the overblood, it was different. Like, I've never seen somebody get their teeth knocked out in wrestling like that. So that was cool. It was different.
Well, and what's great is that they were able to do it in a way where Jacob didn't have to do anything physical. He just had to stage everything, and so yeah, no, I like the way they wrote him out. I mean, if he's getting full dental work, then he's going to be out for quite a while. No,
should be.
Yeah, I mean, the initial report Meltzer had was a year, but I don't think a year or up to a year. But that would be like if you had like a jaw infection or something, and they had to like scrape your jaw and all this other stuff. So I don't think it's
like
going to be
worst case scenario.
Right, that's probably worst case scenario. I would imagine it's at least a couple months because like you have to go. I don't know if I assume they're doing the full extraction, which that's a whole thing, and then he probably has to wait for that to heal before getting implants if he's getting implants. So yeah, it's a whole process.
What I don't understand is something obviously had to have happened to prompt this. Otherwise, they wouldn't have started the whole Jacob Drew McIntyre situation.
Well, he was probably due for a physical, and boom, you got an infection, dude. You got to go out. Who knows?
Yeah, and I wonder if like wearing grills has something to do with that, like it messes up your gums or your teeth or something.
I've seen some horror story or read some horror story. So there's two type of grills, right? There's the grills that you could take off that you just wear, and there's people that literally implant grills on top of their teeth. So when that happens, obviously you eat with them on.
Yep.
And then there's just food that's getting in between your grill and the teeth. So they start decaying your teeth away and all sorts of infections start growing under there. So that could possibly be what's happening with him.
Excuse me. Like if he like even though they seem like they come out on and off the grills, I wonder if like he eats with them on or smokes with them on or does stuff like that where, yeah, like you said, there's just like buildup inside of it, not thinking that you need to soak them like dentures and all that shit, probably just popping them back in your mouth, maybe rinse them with some water or whatever. But
correct.
Yeah. Speculation. This is all speculation,
but it does suck that we're going to lose somebody like Jacob Fatu for an extended
especially you've got the big one, Seth. Like those are two big losses to the roster. They're different huge brands, but they're both huge losses.
So I want to talk a little bit. We're going to jump around because I want to talk about that too, right? So obviously now after last night, it's clear that Heyman was in on it the whole time. The whole thing was not Braun making this decision. This came from Heyman. I like what they're. I didn't love the Vision as a group, but I like Bronson and Braun together. So I'm good with them being with Heyman. This was rushed, obviously, because of the injury.
Yeah.
This was the inevitable. It was going to happen eventually, but, this is what it is now. My question is Braun Breaker there already, though? Like, is he world championship material? Obviously, this is all leading to Punk getting the title probably a little bit sooner than expected.
I mean, I think out of anybody, he's 40. Let's fucking go. Like, we can't just keep sitting on all these young guys and wait until they're 30-something, 40 years old and then push them. Like,
Braun
fuck.
Breaker's 40 already?
If he's not 40, he's damn near.
Braun Breaker?
No, I don't think.
No, I think that kid is younger than us. At least me.
Oh, okay. He's 27. All right.
Yeah, I was about to say he's definitely young.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought you were talking about CM Punk when you said shit. He's over 40. Like,
yeah,
put the bell on him.
But that too. But like, go ahead.
No, finish yours and then I'll go.
No, I think he's there. I mean, I think he's there. You push him. From what I heard, they're waiting. Like the initial plan was going to be that Braun takes the title off of Seth, but because it happened the way it happened, they're saving his title win for a bigger show. That's what I've heard.
I feel
I can see that being Mania.
I feel the So you said something like, "Oh, you didn't like the Vision." I would say not that I didn't like it. I felt like it left something to be desired, right? Like we obviously it got broken up premature, but they were about to add Austin Theory for all rumors I heard. So there was more.
But to be honest, Austin Theory has never done anything for me.
Yeah,
anyway.
Who cares?
But
you know what I mean? Like that's not a big. Oh wow!
But
I
keep
can't
in
believe
mind,
it. Like I could give a shit less.
Keep in mind, like for instance, I believe the guy's good in the ring. Can't say nothing about him. The guy looks the part.
Agreed.
So I think, shit, it could have been a year ago. We were having this conversation, and one of us, I don't recall who it was, but one of us mentioned that if he was able to get a Paul Heyman behind him and teach him how to be in the ring, how to deliver promos, learn from pros, that would go for him a long way. And he's detested by people because you just look at him, the guy looks great. He has this face like a dick, so he's already hated. So when you put him with Paul, I think you had a chance at least when Rollins was there, right? Because I feel like now these guys might have to fence for themselves a little bit, like doing promos. Like Braun Breaker's doing a great job with it, I believe. I think his promos are nice, short, and sweet. But I think that's come a long way by standing next to these guys for the few months he stood next to them, right? It helped him out a little bit, at least the confidence level of it. And keep in mind, man, promos don't come overnight. Like the former big dog, our tribal chief, was horrible on the mic. One of the biggest pipeline was Cena getting on him because he choked up in the middle of a ring on a SmackDown, and he told him, "You're gonna have to at least finish promos if you want to be the big dog," So like I think there's still a chance on the guy. I wouldn't give up on him yet.
Braun Breaker, I'm a big fan of, and I see big things for him for sure. And it doesn't look like they're putting the belt on him anytime soon anyway. Because now you had this battle royal, which I really thought Dirty Dom should have won the match, and have Dirty Dom CM Punk. But we're gonna get Jey Uso. Now the question is, does Jey lose? Jey loses either way, as far as I'm concerned. Punk is obviously winning the belt. Does Jey lose clean, or does Jey lose because of Jimmy?
I'm going with the Jimmy.
Because he played Jimmy pretty dirty in that battle royal.
I'll do you one. I think the former Vision, or whatever they're calling the group now, interferes and costs Punk, and Jey gets the belt back.
Really?
Just to switch it up a little bit. I'm sure it's Saturday night's main event. They always want that to be big. It's probably going to be Punk. But in my head, I'm like, oh, they've set up that Braun and Bronson cannot be in the battle royal to determine the number one contender because they attacked Seth and caused the injury, which caused him to vacate it. And Punk was Seth's biggest rival. And I'm thinking maybe they with Seth out of the picture and Seth now a babyface, when he comes back, he'll be a babyface, of course. Excuse me. And he got sympathy by getting jumped in that moment.
Right.
Maybe these guys feud with Punk, and he's busy with them, and Jey gets that belt back, and the fact that Jey has the belt makes Jimmy feel some kind of way. And I'm not saying Punk wouldn't win the title down the line, but I feel like, I don't know. It feels obvious, but I still think that there's a possibility that the Vision could interfere and be a factor in that match.
And you know how we feel about obvious in wrestling. They always give you that curveball.
I mean,
and it's true, right? Like right now, they're like, if I had $1 million to bet the way that Raw finished, you're like, yeah, there's no fucking way Jimmy doesn't get the go over on his brother. But again, we have 2 weeks for this, right? So we'll have to see the backlash of this on Monday, because I'm sure they're gonna have a promo cut on it. How you fucked me and I saved you twice, and you were about to be out the match. And that could have been me instead of you, kind of stuff, So let's see where that goes, and let's see the feuds that line up with this. I could also see the Vision jumping Jey Uso, since he was the one that won, and they feel like he took their spot. There's a lot of avenues they could go to this, and keep in mind we have War Games. So what are you gonna do with the Usos? Is Jimmy gonna join the new Vision because he hates his brother? Is that a possibility? There's a lot of ways we could go about this, but keep in mind we have the big bad War Games right behind that they have to set up leaving this Saturday night. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see what's gonna happen.
I agree with Dave Abbey over YouTube. Should have been Dom.
I mean, I'm a Dom fanatic.
I think if you put it back on Jey, it's a mistake. Only because you finally put it on him, which nobody really expected, and then you took it off him pretty quickly, and then what? You're going to put it back on him, and then he's going to lose it again pretty quickly, and he's going to have 2 short runs.
I thought the perfect guy for a holy shit moment, we need a new champ, and based on crowd reaction and based on everything that's been going on lately, he's on a high. It was AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And so what? He just won the tag team title. But think about the surprise of him winning 2 belts in one night, which, by the way, could be a WWE record. I don't recall somebody winning 2 belts in one night. And, when you take it off of him, whoever takes it off of him, it's not going to affect him because he's AJ fucking Styles.
And he's retiring.
And he's retiring, right? So you could have, put a speed on his last championship run, because we needed a face to do so. And whenever the hell somebody was ready to take it off, whether it be Braun or anybody else that came across, it's okay because it's AJ Styles. So that was the one guy that I thought could have won it all out of everybody going into the match.
I think it would have been more interesting if it was Jimmy going in there, because like you said, Jay's already been to the top of the mountain. He's already been a champion. And the whole idea of the story is that Jimmy can't get it done. And what if he's in that match with Punk and he can't get it done? then that furthers their story. But what if he gets in there and somehow, whether it's interference from somebody or whatever, somehow he does win that championship, and then Jimmy is on the same level as Jay now, and how does that affect their story? But of course, this is all what ifs because Jimmy is not in the match. But I think Jimmy would have been in more. There's about 10 other guys I would have picked other than Jay Uso for this match.
I always thought the Usos were going to eliminate each other. I didn't see Jay winning. So for some reason, since the whole beef for the last few weeks, I thought it was going to be like he tried to clothesline somebody else and took out the brother. I didn't see it the way it happened that Jay betrayed his brother. But I definitely thought they were going to eliminate one another once I saw the picture.
I think it goes the other way. The Vision attacks Punk, and Jay now owes them.
Dave's on my side here.
Vision attacks Punk, and now Jay owes them. And is he the new member for War Games?
Reluctantly, maybe. I really don't know what they're
going to Jay being the face of the Vision?
No.
That was a reach. I was just thinking.
But it would be funny for them to try and like make him a Seth Rollins type. But I think it would just be more like, we helped you win the championship. Now, like you said, you owe us one. Either that means like a War Games match, or like you have to give one of us a title shot, or some sort of shit like that. Who knows?
I have a curveball.
What is it?
Does Paul Heyman ask for a favor and cost Punk the match by having
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar come in and beat the shit out of CM Punk? And now you officially start War Games, a Brock Lesnar team against a CM Punk team?
All right.
It's shocking.
Once you said that those guys were the captains of the team, that made more sense. I was like, okay, what does this do for Brock? But yeah, if Brock ends up being...
Because what I'm looking at is like, in the back of my mind, at the end of the day, regardless what happens, this is a Saturday night main event. It's nothing crazy. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it like 2-3 weeks later we have War Games?
Well, remember, this is a huge Saturday night's main event because it's Cena's last match, right?
Cena's last match. But
no,
everything
Cena's
else
last match is December.
Right.
Cena's his last Saturday night's main event.
Well, in Cena's schedule, isn't he scheduled for War Games?
Is it?
I could have sworn I seen something seeing Cena scheduled for War Games. But here nor there, Cena's match, yes, Cena is going to have all the attention. But outside of Cena, we have to set up. WWE always moves on. They're always looking in the future. So what's going to set up this main event man's War Games match?
We've never had Brock Lesnar in a War Games match, have we?
Never have we ever.
That's going to be fun to watch.
I don't recall Brock Lesnar in a tag team match since '88.
Oh, 88 is not accurate. Brock wasn't even there yet.
I mean, 88 is just saying, like, man, I haven't done this. I haven't seen you since '88. That's just a long ass time.
I'm sitting like, I was 8.
You're really counting, Steve. Figure of speech, my guy.
Do we think there's actually a champion crowned?
Yeah.
They're not going to keep the. What are they going to do? Keep the belt irrelevant for another 2 weeks?
Well, it's not irrelevant. I mean, it becomes the chase for the title.
But I know what he's saying. You can't keep a show like Raw without a champion for very long.
Right. And not only that, keep in mind, it's not, if we were talking about the Universal title, yeah, it might put some mystique behind it. But keep in mind, this is the baby brother title. So you got to give this title some action. You got to keep it relevant. Put it on somebody's shoulder. Let it be presented every week. Because you know how we talk about this title in this fucking show. So I'm sure all other podcasts are similarly thinking the same thing, especially if they're like old school like us.
Right. That's fair. SmackDown women defended the tag belts. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte versus the NXT women. The one with the Soul Snatcher.
Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka and her partner, that Amazon. I forget. What's her name? Zarya. And of course, in the crowd, Blake Monroe was there ringside, causing distractions. It was actually a really good match, but of course, I guess Team SmackDown, if you will, retain the titles. Match of the night on SmackDown, though, by far was the return of Ilya Dragunov going after Sami Zayn in the open challenge for the U.S. title and beating Sami Zayn.
Great match.
Really good match.
And the shock of having somebody come back after an injury and immediately get a title shot and win.
Win.
Great. And he's the guy. According to the reports that I saw, Sammy made the call to change the title and give it to Ilya, which fantastic call. I think that he looks good. People are questioning this new neck tattoo, but I think that seems to be the current thing because Dom just got one, and they're all trying to match Cody and his
Get a neck tattoo, you win a championship.
That's what it seems like. So, Penta, step up, buddy.
I mean, doesn't he have a bunch of neck tattoos?
Yeah, he's got way more tattoos than anybody. They should him and Aleister Black should have every title according to that logic. But dude, I always liked Ilya Dragunov. He came back shredded. He came back like, not that he wasn't in good shape, but he seemed way bigger and way more defined than he used to be. He has this tattoo. Like, he's great. The only thing that really kind of is a downer is that he's not 6 foot something. Like, if he was just even 6'1", you'd be like, all right, he'd be a fucking world beater, man. But yeah, he's definitely, this is his peak. This is he's not going to be a world title contender. If he is, he's going to lose. This is his peak. And I'm glad he's there because he's going to, if he continues this challenge, the guys that he's going to have matches with and the matches they're going to put on together, whew.
Yeah, it'll be something to watch.
They're going to definitely have some bangers.
Can you imagine him and Sheamus for the U.S. Championship? That'd be a fucking great match.
Be a great match.
As hard as those guys hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. There's some really, really good matches you can have. Cody, Drew McIntyre heated up. Got heel Cody vibes in that segment. Did anyone else? Cody got himself DQ'd with a title shot, blatant in front of the ref.
I think that was more storyline based to like let it live on. Like, I got one over you and I deserve a title shot kind of thing. More than anything.
Like maybe just he got Cody frustrated enough to do that in front of the referee and get himself disqualified. Because here's the problem I have, and this stems back to Cody and AEW. Cody would do this shit where it seems like he turned heel, and then for like 2 weeks you think the motherfucker turned heel, and then by the end of it he's just like, surprise.
Heel. There were just heelish tendencies coming out during the match.
But do you think that's leading to something, or you think it was just this one time for this match?
I mean, I don't think it's leading anything during his feud with McIntyre. McIntyre's hated. So
now that we're on the Cody chant, when are we taking the belt off of Cody?
They just put it back on him.
I know. So when are we taking the belt off of Cody? What's the projection? What's the timeline here?
Fucking WrestleMania, dog.
Mania.
That's it.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, and this is the problem that I had with you're talking about the importance of titles. Cody holds the belt, and it doesn't feel like the most important story on SmackDown. It just doesn't. I can't explain to you why, but it just doesn't feel the same. No, go ahead.
Dave Abbey makes a very good point over YouTube. Can we talk about how they ripped off Cross and Scarlett to give the same story to Black and Vega, which happens to be very true. Although I do like how they're putting Aleister and Selena together, because everybody knows they're married. And, Zelina is good at being dark. So it works really good. I like the video package they did with the snake and everything else. So I'm happy with it, but he's not wrong. I mean, that literally was the gimmick you had with Cross and Scarlett, and you didn't want to give Cross an explanation of how they got to terms on the deal that they offered him, and he walked.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that everyone seemed to pick up on this. Like, as the show was developing and as people were posting clips of it online, that was one of the things that kept coming up in the comments. This looks very reminiscent of Scarlett and Cross. Why did they fire Cross and Scarlett if they're just going to do this? And yeah, man, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder.
But I feel that that part was written for them. And since they were gone, they believed there was a good enough storyline. They just put two other people in them. And since they were married and he
Yep.
came back and they're both, and he's kind of dark, they were like, you know what? Selena's good enough to adapt, change, and join with her husband.
And they had nothing going on with her anyway.
Correct.
No.
Like, it was the worst U.S. run of any women. It's
And
horrible.
Didn't that derail Chelsea's great
Yes.
Secret Service run? Yeah.
That's why it's the worst, because it derailed arguably the best U.S. champion women's run they had.
And did it lead to Chelsea winning the women's world title or anything else? No. She got fucking killed dead.
Stagnant. Nothing to do with her. And she's still over as fuck. Anytime she's on TV, people love her.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate that it all went down the way it went down, because I don't think there was money in that title change. And now with the hindsight of it all, we know that there wasn't money in that title change.
You think they're doing it to her because she's Canadian?
And they don't like Canada. Like, just secretly still they have like a deep
like Trump called them up like, huh? I know you can't do it to AJ, but is it AJ Styles Canadian or no?
No, he's from Georgia.
Oh, never mind.
You never see, if you watch him in TNA, he would always call Sting Stang. So you absolutely knew he was from Georgia when you heard him talk.
Yeah, he is country as fuck. You're right. He is very country.
So, speaking of AJ, they put him and Dragon Lee together, and they beat the Judgment Day for the tag titles.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I mean, definitely nobody saw that coming.
No, not at all.
So, is this going to be the official demise of Judgment Day?
I would see why not, because at this point, Dom is the only champion, and nobody's really fond of him. Even the girls really don't mess with him that much. Outside of Roxanne. Outside of Roxanne.
Yeah.
But outside of her flirting with him, like, what's her name? Raquel can't stand him because of the whole Roxanne thing. And the guys right now are both going to be jealous of him. So I could definitely see him coming to an end in a theater near you.
I do love everything they're doing with Dom.
Dom is great.
To win, the crowd is behind him. It's so Eddie Guerrero, and it works. It's just great.
Absolutely.
Which is another reason why I really think he should have won that Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he wins the Royal. He's not going to go over on CM Punk. So why even give him the L?
Because it doesn't hurt him.
I do hear rumors that he is. They might try to make Cena a crown. What's that thing called? Triple Crown or whatever they call that when you get all the belts. And he's only missing the IC title.
Grand Slam, two world championships.
Well,
Triple Crown is a different one, and I think he's got it because he's got IC, US, and a world title, or rather,
he has tag team US world title, so he has a Triple Crown. So he just needs the other one.
He needs he needs the singles Grand Slam. Yeah,
correct. So I mean, I'm not opposed to that. And then again, last match, Gunther comes back, takes the IC title back, and has one of those crazy runs he has. And it'll be fun seeing Dominic.
I will say they have purposely not mentioned Gunther's name at all.
Which is more of a reason why I think he's going to be Cena's.
Well, I'm still not sold on that yet. But we'll see. I'm good with it if it happens, but...
I feel there's only two things that can happen. Oh! I just heard some shit linking Andrade saying something that happened with his 90-day clause. Something was negotiated in order to have Edge be able to come back and have a one-night match with Edge. Again, rumor. But I heard it, so I might as well say it on the show.
Did I hear that Tony Khan made an official announcement that Jericho's returning? Is that true?
I didn't hear that.
I haven't heard that. I can look that up.
I saw it somewhere. Could be bullshit. I'm hoping it is because I'm waiting for him. Maxine Dupree, Becky Lynch for the women's title. I'll tell you what, she's getting better. She really is. Maxine's putting in the work, you could tell. I mean, she's still not championship material, but she put on a hell of a match with Becky Lynch.
Vince, you want to go?
Oh, sorry. I was looking up the thing about Jericho, and it doesn't look like there's anything actually confirmed. Somebody did ask Tony Khan about him at the pay-per-view post-show press conference, and he gave the typical answer of Chris Jericho's been a big part of AEW, blah, blah, blah. We'll always have the door open
answer
for him, you know. Yeah, it's the same answer he usually gives. So that's the update on that. Good on Maxine.
And Vince, the reason I'm letting you go, I'm asking you to go first, because last time we talked about this, I went first, and I had my say about her, and now I want you to say it first, and then we can flip-flop.
Now, wait, remind me, because I was anti-Maxine last time, right?
Yeah, I was too, but I was a lot more harsher than you were, so I'll let you have the floor first.
Oh, all right. Okay, yes. Part of it is what Dave Abbey's saying. Hate to say it, but Becky can truly get anyone over. I think that is part of it. Becky elevates the people that she works with and makes them look better than they are sometimes. And some of it is absolutely that she's putting work in and getting better. I mentioned last week that, you know, watching it back, you can definitely still see some clunky stuff. When Maxine wrestles, the timing's a little bit off. The footwork's not exactly where it needs to be, all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, you know, here's the real challenge. She has to now go wrestle people who aren't Becky Lynch and still look that good.
Bingo.
Correct. That is very true.
That's where it comes in. Like, and pretty much, like, you're on point with everything I was gonna say, and Dave Abbey did say it. Becky Lynch makes everybody look great. Again, for me, it's just a stiffness. I honestly just genuinely believe, Steve, that you are in all of what you see in the ring for those 15, 20 minutes, and you accept it and you like it, and I don't blame you for it, but I just don't like the wrestling aspect of it. I feel there's other women that could get those chances.
I look at where she was 6 months ago versus what she's been able to do now, and it's night and day.
But is that
when Trish Stratus first started, she was garbage in the ring.
Yep.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a Trish Stratus leap.
I'm not saying she's Trish Stratus, nor am I trying to compare the two. But if you look at 6 months ago till now, you can see mass improvement.
All right, so I'll give you that because she is improved from that aspect. Now, is she improved enough to have a title shot?
No, and I think they only did it because it was Becky, and Becky was able to make her look like a rock star.
That's my problem with it, right? I feel like, and
but
we've been saying this
she still had to hold her own, though.
Again, that's where it comes in when hopefully they give her the TV time and we see her wrestle lesser competition that are going to make her look as good. Because that's where we start seeing the issue, right?
Yeah, we'll have to see. But definitely see improvement in her for sure. Although nothing like Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer.
No.
That was another great match.
That was fucking great.
Great match.
Hey, do you guys remember? I feel like a couple weeks ago, AJ Lee came back.
When?
She wrestled with CM Punk, and then we haven't seen her again.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
We said it.
She's home being a mama.
She's like on the milk carton. Like, I don't know what's going on. They really made it seem like she was back full time. So I don't know.
This ain't even part time. This is
and not
past
part
time.
It was the perfect opportunity last night to return because Becky got DQ'd and then beat the shit out of Maxine afterwards.
Yeah.
So, and the crowd was chanting for AJ. So, but I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for. Obviously, it has to be something in her contract, but.
Yeah, but I mean, geez, you can't. I would, if I were them, WWE and AJ, I would have been a little more careful with the way that I chose my words when I signed a contract, they make this big deal. I'm back. It's a long-term contract. Pictures of me sitting down, signing the contract and crying and all that other shit. And it's like, oh, great. You've made 2 appearances.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. See you at War Games.
Well, hopefully. Has there been any indication? We're almost at the end of October now. War Games is in November. Any indication that AJ's coming back?
Who knows? She could come back and pick up where she left off with Becky Lynch, and those are the 2 captains.
That's very possible.
Right?
And it saves her from having to wrestle a singles match. There's 9 other people in the match or whatever. Correct. She can kind of blend
lay on the corner for half an hour.
Exactly. But there's more. She could be doing more, man. I just feel like, and I understand it's whatever her schedule and whatever the terms are, but it just seems like when you have, especially because she came back and there was all this hype around her returning for the first time in 10 years or however long it is. And then there was no follow-up, which is really the confusing thing. There was no write-off. It wasn't like Becky jumped her and put her out of action and she's on the shelf or anything. Whatever it was just like they literally stopped mentioning her. And that was it.
I just don't know what they're waiting for.
I think it might just be what Al's saying. They're waiting for War Games. They'll bring her back a couple weeks beforehand, give you 3-4 weeks of promotion for it, and then Bob's your uncle.
I could definitely see her being like a big pay-per-view draw girl that they do that often every couple months.
But now, are you putting AJ in a War Games match, or is she having a match for the title against Becky Lynch at War Games?
I would say a War Games match as her being the captain of the faces and Becky being the captains of the heels.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. And like Vince said, it's less wear and tear on her. She doesn't have to be, like literally going at it for a fucking half an hour match, 20-minute match.
Dave seems to have a differing opinion, though, here.
That's the kind of match where if you're not in ring shape, you get hurt. And listen, maybe she's working on making sure she's ring ready for War Games. That's possible.
Yeah, she worked in ring shape, I think, at her last match. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's way less wear and tear in a match that, like we said, you can lay on the ground for 10 minutes after you get knocked out, and then you just get your spot.
Oh, you can't really do that in War Games.
As long as she's not...
The only way it really works is if she's the last to come out for her team.
And she will. She's the captain.
Well, it doesn't go by that. Isn't it...
No, they choose who to go.
They choose the order? Or
of course. You don't remember when Roman stopped CM Punk and sent out one of the Usos?
He did. That's true.
And as long as she's... Dave's right in the sense that if she's going out there and taking bumps into the cage and jumping off the top of the cage and doing crazy spots, it's probably not the best thing to do when it's your second match back in 10 years.
I don't know that we're seeing AJ go to the top and...
That's what I'm saying. She can stay on the ground. She can hit somebody with a trash can or a kendo stick and kind of stay 2 feet on the floor where she should be.
I can see like Kairi Singh or what's her name?
Io Sky or something.
Io Sky. Well, didn't she put like a dumpster in her head one time? Oh, well, that was a regular cage.
That was just a cage, but she put a trash can over her and she did her moonsault off the top.
Yeah,
that was fucking awesome.
They made a toy out of it.
Did they?
Oh yeah,
you cool. can buy an action figure that's her, and it comes with the trash can, and it like fits over the top of the head of the action figure.
God bless WWE. They'll find a way.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable. So, what else we got? Trying to think of Mo from Men on a Mission, right?
Yeah, Mo from Men on a Mission passed away. Terrible.
Yep. Those of you that don't know, look up Men on a Mission. They were fun. I like
it was he passed away 59 years old. I heard he needed a kidney transplant, couldn't afford one. Died from complications of whatever kidney failure he had, and just kind of browsing on his Facebook, seeing people post condolences. I wasn't friends with him, but you can go look up, if you look up his name, you can find him. And he was still training people at wrestling schools. And he was also a pastor. And there are a lot of people posted how much he affected their lives, whether it was like by being such an engaging coach or whether it was from being a pastor and preaching to them. So while he only had a short career in the WWF, and for those of you who don't know, again, we'll just go back briefly. In USWA, which was Memphis, they had who they called Nelson and Bobby Knight, KNIGHT, the Harlem Knights, and they kind of dressed like guardian angels in red and black, and they wrestled as a tag team. And when they got signed to the WWF, they changed them to Men on a Mission, Mo and Mabel, and they brought Oscar in, and they were like instead of being like a dangerous rap group, they were like a positive rap group, and they rapped about, it was almost like not Make a Difference Fatu. That was something else, but like, they were more like a kid and play kind of rap group. They had all that kind of stuff. And Oscar was a legitimately talented rapper. He was a wrestling fan. He rapped in front of a couple producers at a WWF event. They brought him backstage. He rapped in front of Vince McMahon, and he said, "We're going to find a spot for you." They made Oscar the manager of Men on a Mission. And those guys had probably a nice 4, 5, 6 year run. They were
and then Mabel. I mean, beyond Men on a Mission, Viscera and King Mabel and
King Viscera. So, wasn't he King Viscera?
He was King of the Ring. Just as Mabel, but
Mabel.
not as
Mabel. King Mabel.
But every role that he had was great. Even beyond Mo, once Men on a Mission was over, he was gone. Sir
Mo was no Mo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, now they're both passed, and Big Vis.
Yeah.
He passed away thinking about it now, that was a while ago.
Yeah. Viscera's been out for a while.
Big boy.
Yeah, he was a big.
Yeah, he was huge.
He was. There's a couple guys like this in wrestling. When you book a guy that's Viscera size, you literally have to book him 2 airplane tickets.
Oh yeah.
You have to take up. You basically buy a row for the fucking guy. So that was like an extra cost you had to consider when booking him. A lot of indie promotions can't afford that extra airplane ticket, so I think he only got with the ones that could afford it. But I only ran into him a handful of times in my indie dealings. He was always a nice guy, kept to himself. Nobody ever had a problem with him. I never saw him beat the shit out of anybody. So,
and people always said for a big guy, he was a good worker.
Yeah, and I mean, he was one of those guys that he understood his limitations. Some people don't get they're a certain size and can only do a certain number of things, and they try and do things that are kind of outside of their scope. He knew, I'm 6-something, 400 pounds. I do the things that a guy this size would do. People are running into me. I'm not really running into them unless I'm doing like a big splash or something. So like he used his size well. And Mo was, again, he's the one that most recently passed away. I watched some stuff, and listen, these guys they're not the Rock and Roll Express, but they were a fun tag team. They were over, the crowd liked them, and they were, it was kind of like the Bushwhackers. They worked a fun match, they won, they sent everybody home happy. It was 1994. That's what you expected out of a tag team. It was exactly what you wanted.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's just sad because Viscera was probably in his 40s maybe when he passed away, and now
he was young for sure.
And this guy was only 59, and that's just, it's so sad when you hear that. It's not like Karl Gotch passed away and he was 106 or whatever. It was like these guys are young guys. 59 is way too young. I know he was sick, but still. So yeah, that was the unfortunate news of the week. There was an AEW pay-per-view over the weekend. And I don't know. I'm probably the only one that watched it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I saw clips. But feel free.
Please take us through it.
I've never really had an issue with AEW pay-per-views. I always feel like if you're paying for them, you're getting your money's worth. And it started at 8. It went until like 12:30. They gave you a whole bunch of fucking wrestling matches. And it ended with that insane I Quit match between Darby and Mox, which I'll get to in a second. But Dave, if you haven't caught the last Cross video, it's a great watch. If this isn't a work, I don't know why Tony isn't throwing the world at him.
Well,
I don't know.
I want to say something on that. So, from what I've heard from Karrion Kross himself, is it's not necessarily that AEW hasn't made an offer, but him and Scarlett have made a decision that wherever they go, like, this is going to be a long-term stay. Like, they're not looking for a hit-and-run type of deal. And I think that they want to know for sure that the door with WWE is closed before they make a commitment to Tony Khan and AEW.
That makes sense.
That's what I've been hearing.
A lot of sense.
So take that for what it is.
But. Yeah, no, it definitely it makes sense. That because even he said people were initially staying away from him because they thought it was a work, and it's not.
I think the video, the one clip on the video, I think it said something like that. I want to watch that.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a watch. He mentioned a new.
Where can you watch it? Do you know?
I assume it's his own. Like Cross has his own YouTube channel where he puts up his stuff, so it's probably up there, or it's Chris Van Vliet because fucking him and Chris Van Vliet do everything together. Chris Van Vliet has a good wrestling show. It's just like I don't know where the fuck he came from. He feels like an industry plant. He just feels like he was grown in a lab to be a talk show host with the fucking hair and the teeth and all that shit. Like I don't know. It just there's something AI about that fucking guy. He's a robot. I don't know. But real quick here, we did have a bunch of main card matches. I won't talk about everything. Jamie Hayter and Thekla had a good opening contest, if a little bit long for an opening contest, but like they just wrestled their asses off. Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks had one of the best tag team matches of the fucking year. That's worth checking out. Hurt Syndicate against The Demand, which is Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Another great match, like a trios match. Nothing wrong with that. If you're only going to pick one of those two, watch the Jurassic Express against the Young Bucks, but both of those are great. Kyle Fletcher beat Mark Briscoe to retain the TNT title. You know, Mark Briscoe, known as a tag team guy most of his life, and Jay was the singles one. Mark is really showing how great a wrestler he is, how great of a singles wrestler he is. He's really showing more personality. He's leading a conglomeration. And obviously he wasn't going to win the title from Kyle Fletcher. His whole role as a veteran wrestler is to make these young guys look good. And he's making Kyle Fletcher look great over these last couple matches that they've wrestled. Chris Statlander retained against Timeless Tony Storm in another just hard hitting match. There was a point where, Tony Storm was locked in a leg scissor choke by Chris Statlander for 2 minutes, and at one point she yells out, "Just fucking kill me," which is pretty brutal. He beat MJF. That was the last. Mark Briscoe beat MJF in the stretcher match, some sort of stipulation match where MJF got busted open and he got written off to do his wedding and his honeymoon and all that stuff. Let's see, Mercedes Moné beat Mina Shirakawa to win the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So now she's Moné 12 belts. Brody King and Bandito beat Okada and Takeshita. Okada accidentally, quote unquote, hit Takeshita and then looked down and smiled and did his "I'm so sorry," like really sarcastically. Fucking great. Hangman Adam Page beat Samoa Joe by pinfall to retain the men's championship. We saw that coming. What we didn't see coming was they did a fake out where they shook hands afterward, and then the Ops, which is Joe's faction, instead of, they were fake celebrating with Hangman, then they all jumped Hangman. So it seems like this story with the Ops and Samoa Joe and against Hangman is not over. And last but not least, Darby Allin beat Jon Moxley in an I Quit match, and some people have things to say about this match online. Some people are big mad about this match when realistically the Texas Death Match that happened at All In earlier this summer, that was the match that had way, way, way more brutal stuff happen. Because the difference in Texas and Missouri is that the athletic commissions allow different things. And Missouri's athletic commission does not allow nearly as much in terms of like blood and guts and all that as the Texas commission. So in Missouri, they kind of had to do some different things. Like they did the bamboo skewers under the thumbs or under the fingernail on Darby Allin, like weird stuff like that, culminating with a attempted drowning in a fish tank. So the Death Riders brought out a fish tank and filled it with water, and Moxley shoved Darby Allin's head into it. Now, here's what I happen to know because Darby Allin came on our radio show last year. Darby Allin can hold his breath for 2 minutes underwater. That's a real thing. Darby Allin has trained himself to hold his breath for 2 minutes underwater. He did it live on our show. We were literally all right. He stuck his face in a bowl of water and held it there for 2 minutes while we talked and did other stuff. It was crazy. So that was perfectly safe. He knew what he was doing. He's been doing this controlled breathing exercise so he can hold his breath really long. And he did that high altitude training for Everest. And long story short, he's getting choked out or drowned. And you think this is all it for him. The lights go out. The lights come back up. Tony Schiavone goes, "It's Sting!" And fucking old man Sting comes out, hits Moxley. The Death Riders come in. He hits the Death Riders. He smashes the fish tank with his baseball bat. And then he looks over at Moxley like he's going to hit him with the bat. And instead, he gives the bat to Darby. And he leaves, and Sting picks up Marina Shafir and carries her over his shoulder out of the arena. And then Darby hits Moxley in the knee a couple times with the baseball bat. He's been working the knee the whole match. So he hits him in the knee a couple times, puts on the Scorpion Deathlock, and gets Moxley to quit. And the controversy is that they used this fish tank. People seem to be up in arms that they drowning and attempt.
Out of all the shit that they have done in AEW,
right?
The fish tank is getting talked
the
about.
Drowning.
It's like, unbelievable. Really? Yeah, between the real glass and the all the other bumps Darby's taken, and like people getting their there was a syringe in Swerve's cheek.
He was probably wrestling while he was in there. It was probably the most comfortable thing he did all fucking match.
He was wrestling for like 20-something minutes. It was probably refreshing.
Yeah.
Go underwater. But yeah, people were mad. Sarah Stock, who was an indie wrestler, who then was a producer for AEW, got on Twitter and said that kids shouldn't be watching this and they're going to try and replicate it and blah, blah, blah. And Brody Lee's wife, Amanda, still an AEW employee, hit back on Twitter and she's like, "Listen, you know where my kids were when that match happened? In bed, because it happened at midnight. And they needed to be in bed because there was school in the morning." And she's like, I know what I'm watching and I know what my kids are watching, and I don't let them. They're young. They're like, the youngest one's probably like 13. She's like, I don't allow them to watch certain matches because I know what's going to happen. It's just like, parent. As a parent, like you know, Steve, like as a parent, you have to be aware of what your kids are watching. And there are times, I mean, it could be 99% of the time, the program you're watching could be family friendly or appropriate for kids. But there's always that 1% of the time. And we all remember it when we were kids, where your parents are like, "All right, that's enough for that show tonight. We'll watch it again next week." Yep. And you're like, "What?" It's like, now you get it. Even like you said, thumbtacks. There was the use of thumbtacks in glass, like power bombs on the glass and stuff in AEW is like unrivaled aside from like Combat Zone Wrestling, like it's just grisly. What do you expect? It's a pay-per-view. Like, you're paying extra. This is why you're paying extra. You're paying extra for the shit you can't see on TV.
It's amazing. But AEW, as always, delivers with their pay-per-views.
They're a lot of fun. The thing that I really like is if you like wrestling and you're not a fan of constant promo packages or cutting to the backstage for an interview or everything, if you just want 10 wrestling matches in a row, order an AEW pay-per-view, because that's what you're getting.
Yeah, you get your money's worth. You really do.
Definitely do.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens because Warner Brothers Discovery has put itself up for sale after some unsolicited offers were made by some other large companies. So I don't know if that's going to be Apple or NBC Universal or whoever it could be, but Netflix, one of these bigger companies is going to be acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery, which encompasses the cable product, HBO, Discovery, and all those associated channels, and the streaming portion, which includes HBO Max, all the HBO Max originals, fucking DC movies, the whole DC universe under Warner Brothers Discovery for sale while they're in the middle of production of all this new stuff. So who fucking knows what's going to happen with that?
Imagine Disney buys it, and now you have AEW and WWE under the same umbrella, and now Forbidden Door is no more, and we could finally have it.
But would WWE make whoever, like Disney, let's say, if Disney wanted to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, would WWE or TKO say to them, you have to cancel AEW Dynamite and Collision? Or would they accept it?
Why?
That's a good question.
Because they really competition.
Because they're competition. They want to put them out of business.
I mean, look, competition is always healthy for the soul. Imagine they say, "Fuck it, fight it out. Let's see who survives."
And honestly, they really should, because nobody in WWE seems to realize this. And this goes back 40 years. Anytime there's any inkling of a problem or competition, or even if something goes wrong where they have to pivot, like from their predetermined plan, they're better in that moment. When they were competing with WCW, they were better creatively.
Yep.
When Bret Hart quit and they did the whole screw job, and they pivoted to Mr. McMahon being a heel and being a TV personality. Yeah, they were able to pivot. And even in the last couple years, when Cody jumped from AEW, they were hot for 2 or 3 years because they were like, oh, now we got this new guy, and they kept acquiring kind of new talent and Lucha Brothers and things like that, where they stayed on this hot streak for a while because they were kind of flying by the seat of their pants. And now they're comfortable again. And the last time we saw them get comfortable, we saw Bray Wyatt get disqualified for using a giant mallet in a Hell in a Cell.
In a no DQ.
In a no DQ. You can use the little hammer, but you can't use the big hammer. Or no, he used the big hammer. Seth got disqualified because he used a sledgehammer, which is very, very small.
Been using for years.
And it's it's comparatively to a giant mallet that could mash your head in. Smaller weapon. Why was that a DQ? Anyway, I'm not going to dredge up that old memory, but you know what I'm saying? To me, that was indicative of when WWE gets complacent. Shit like that happens.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the top of the hour.
Booyaka, booyaka. No, this is the other Mysterio. Oh, what did you think of Mysterio's neck tattoo?
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it settle. Sometimes tattoos look better after they settle.
I like it. Fuck it. He's dirty Dom. It's a dirty fucking tattoo.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I just think maybe it'll look better when it settles in. I don't know. He might need another pass on it. Just a couple accents. Anyway, you guys have been watching the War Report After Dark. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to David Roska, Tara, Dave Abbey, and everybody else who was commenting and participating and tuning in tonight. We do this stream every single Tuesday night, 9 p.m. on Eastern Time. We are coming up on a daylight savings time. There aren't many places in the world that don't fix their clocks and jump around, so just make sure you stick with us. You know it's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Just come back to whatever page you're on, whether it's our Facebook or our YouTube at that point. Our YouTube and Facebook are both Tag Me a Date. Go to Facebook, type Tag Me a Date in a search, and hit the thumbs up. You will like the page, and our live stream will show up in your news feed. If you go to YouTube, type Tag Me a Date in the search bar. Our channel will come up. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get a notification sent to you when we go live at 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. All of our social media, or most of it, is at Tag Me a Date, including Twitter and Instagram. And if you want us on TikTok, it is The War Report Podcast, all one word, The War Report Podcast. On those platforms, we post shorts and reels of the things we talked about the week before to lead us up to the upcoming show on Tuesday night. And last but not least, if you would prefer an audio version instead of a video version of this podcast, just go to your favorite podcast apps such as Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or Google Play Podcasts. Type in Tag Me a Date, type in The War Report. You'll see our logo. You'll see in the description it has Steve and Vince and everybody's name. You'll know it's us. Hit that subscribe button. Ryan rips the audio from the live stream and sends it over to the podcast apps after the show is over. And when it's uploaded, it just goes right to your device as long as you are subscribed. So with all that being said, on your way out, if you could leave us a like or a share or a comment or anything like that, we appreciate everybody that dropped in tonight. And we'll be back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Have a great week, everybody.